Oh, there you go.
Look, there we go. Good morning, Roger. It's another bright sunny day. Not how it was during the week, but it was hot. No.
Yeah, yeah. Good
And some
morning, Ingle.
rain.
It was smoking hot. It was like in the 40s.
It wasn't.
So not
Yeah,
just hot. It was too hot.
it was
Too
too
hot.
hot. Too hot for anything. Too much outdoors. I spent most of the time indoors for sure. That
Had to, had
three
to.
days.
At our young age, we got to protect what little we have, and
Yeah,
going outside would not have helped.
that's so true. Yeah, so we want to welcome everyone to another edition of Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. It's another edition of the England Rogers Sports Hour, and there's so much to talk about. But we missed last week,
Yeah, it was
Canada Day. Did you do anything special on Canada Day?
just family stuff, which
Just
was
yeah,
always good to do, seeing the parents and all of that. But yeah, it was one of those where you had Canada Day and then you had Independence Day over in the U.S. So it was
yes.
just back to back. Everybody was just buzzing around and fireworks going all over the place.
And the Caribbean celebrated 50 years of CARICOM on July
50th,
4th as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
50 years of CARICOM. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Although that's another discussion for another time. Some people say,
yeah.
did it fail? Is it working? But
Yeah,
at
because
least
I
it's
did
50
ask
years.
someone. Yeah, I did ask someone what did CARICOM achieve.
That's a tough question to
That's
ask.
what. Yeah, yeah. So, but anyway, that's a different topic, as you said. Yeah, and I did family stuff, and then ended the day looking at the fireworks down at Port Credit.
Oh
So
yeah, nice,
enjoyed
nice.
that. I hadn't done that for a while, so good to see
Okay.
everybody back out and
A lot of people are out.
after
Yeah, I
COVID.
watch it
Yeah,
here in Oakville as well, and a lot of people, kids, all ages, all
oh,
ages. Everyone showed up.
yes. But onto the topic that we're here for is sports, and a lot of sports happening. There's Wimbledon, there's Formula One in England this weekend, and there's cricket ongoing. Something that we must discuss in a bit of detail is the demise. We have to discuss that a bit. And but yesterday, I think I spent most of the day yesterday focusing watching tennis, and last night watching the U.S. trials. I didn't get to see the Jamaican trials. I saw the
Okay.
results, but I
Oh,
actually watched I watched the races at the U.S.
yeah,
trials.
Charles over there in Oregon. Yeah,
And,
I switched over because I think the timing was perfect. Where when the Jamaican trials was just about done, then the U.S. trials was just about starting up because of the time difference.
right.
It worked out, but yeah, it kept me up all night watching watching track and
Yeah,
field.
I was up until after midnight because I was
Yes,
just watching track, and I couldn't
yes.
miss Sid and Shikari to see what
Okay,
they did. But
yeah,
you'll talk about that later
for
on, so I
sure,
wouldn't
for
get too
sure.
much into that for sure.
Yeah,
And
man.
Formula One, Lewis Hamilton, still not happy with his car, but
Well, I think what happened last race is, I think, just an indication of the bigger problem, where they said Toto Wolff came on the mic and told him to just shut up and drive, basically.
yeah, told him
We know the car is bad, just drive it. So,
just drive.
yeah. And I think at the end, I
So
think
yeah,
Lewis said he
so
took some time.
that's what he was telling him on the online.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah, and everybody heard it. So it's one of those where it wasn't a secret, so it wasn't so good. But I think in the end, Lewis said he thought about it, and he said he probably was a little wrong in how he was approaching it.
Hmm.
Maybe he was just frustrated. I'm guessing here, but yeah, he said, you know what, I make sure that I adjust how I talk in the future. So it was good to see that he some self perspective to see that maybe he was a little off. That the the owner guy had to come on to say just shut up and drive. So
Yeah, right. Yeah, just driving. And in England, it's not much better in England this weekend either because
like 15th or something. I don't know what's going
yeah,
on.
he had a better third practice this morning. He ended up fifth.
Okay.
But you wonder if there was some toying going around because Leclerc was first and Verstappen was down like eighth or so. So maybe he was experimenting with something why he didn't push too
Yeah,
much.
he
But
can do whatever he wants,
he
Ingleton.
can't. He can't.
He's gonna win on Sunday. That
That's
we
so true.
know.
Yeah, and qualifying is just about started, and the first two people to post times was Bottas, the second, and George Russell. Those are the only two with times so far in the first
Is it still
qualifying.
raining over there this morning or no?
Yeah, it's some rain. They expect
Yeah,
thunder showers anytime soon. Yeah,
yeah. So I know that's how they're holding them up a bit.
Yeah, but they're on the way in the first qualifying, so
Good.
we'll update you if we get any results there.
Yeah, but another topic for Lewis though is that contract that he still has not signed as
He
yet
has
or
not
hasn't been
signed.
offered as yet. So I don't know. I mean, a couple weeks ago, I think they had come out and said, "Oh, this is going to be done soon." But English, it's been
Hmm.
a couple of months. So
Yeah, it's
what do you think is going on here? Because I don't think he can actually leave for another competitor and get the type of money he's getting here. So I don't know.
no, he's still. Yeah, he would not get that kind of money, so he's probably just putting his faith in hoping that eventually they'll sign it. And
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Are they talking to him about when he's going to retire to know how long to sign it?
I
Or
think that's part of it as well. I'm wondering if it should it be 2 years, should it be 3 years?
right?
But I mean, whatever contract he gets, he's gonna be driving it out. So, but yeah, I think that's probably part of the discussion. But it shouldn't take so long.
No, it
As a matter
should.
of fact, they came out and said it's not a money discussion. So,
Oh, okay. So it must
so
be length then.
yeah, it could be length. It's they said it's other topics. So
On the top.
yes, I don't know because if you really think about it, Lewis Hamilton is his own brand and it's a major brand. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not an easy discussion for sure.
Are they telling him to keep quiet or
I mean, maybe that's part of the discussion too. Is
maybe
don't criticize us in public anymore.
right? Very
Shut,
well could be.
shut up and
Shut
drive.
up and drive. Yeah.
So who knows? Interesting times ahead for him. But I mean, he has a $40 million contract. So it's no sneeze here. So
Yeah,
those
he
are big
will.
money stuff.
Yeah, he will get his contract and he will go well and he will be happy in the end, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. As I said to you, that was just early times. So Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, and Max Verstappen are now top in the practice one. Hamilton
Okay.
hasn't posted a time as yet.
As
He's
yet.
still,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But if we go on and talk, I don't know if you've been watching the Wimbledon. I've been watching on and off. I've been watching the
Me too.
Canadians mostly,
Me too. Yeah. Yeah. I want to
and
see what they're doing.
yeah, I was very disappointed in the first round to see Felix go out.
Felix Auger-Aliassime. I
Yeah,
think you know what. Honestly, he was on fire last year. He came into this year and then he had a minor injury, and I don't
yeah.
think since that. I think he's just been on a losing streak. I don't think he has won anything since he came back.
No, I think he's. Yeah, I was wondering if he pushing himself too much to the
I'm
injury.
wondering, maybe
To,
he needed more rest. I don't know, but I mean, to go to the first round the way he did, it was very disappointing. I should say.
it was very disappointing for sure. And yeah, I just didn't want to see that, but it happened. And also, you know, the other Canadians who looked good is Jeannie Bouchard in the women's side.
If you look good physically or look good on the court, because she hasn't done she hasn't done anything on the court for like
But she did.
it's about 10 years now. She's
But
not
she
going
did.
anywhere.
She got to the third round. She won. She came back from 5-2 down in the final set last night and won. So she
Bouchard
is
or
fighting.
Driscoll? Are you talking about
Sorry,
that?
not Bouchard.
I was like,
Andrescu. Sorry, sorry, Roger.
I'm
I
like,
was
what is
wondering.
he
He said,
talking about?
no, no, Andrescu. Where did I get Bouchard
I was
from?
like, what is he talking about? Eugenie Bouchard?
No,
She's a
sorry.
model now. I don't think she plays
That's
tennis.
true. And oh, I heard you say she hasn't done anything in a while. I'm thinking, sorry, we're talking
Oh,
about two different people.
yeah, for sure. Andriska, I was quite impressed
Andrescu,
actually,
yes,
because it's the
Andrescu.
first time she's getting to the third round, and she's battling out there. And this is what I told you is one of her biggest advantages over the others is that she will battle to the end. Is that she always has some injuries to worry about, and it was impressive to see how she came back, coming down from 5-2 in the third set to come and win. Impressive, tough.
It was very impressive, and I'm happy to see her. And you know, when she's in form, she looks so good. And
Exactly, exactly.
yeah,
When
she looks
she's
like
on, she's very hard to beat.
yeah, she looks like the best player in the world when she's on form. But
When she's on form. Yeah, yeah. We just need to
it,
have that more consistently.
yeah,
Another Canadian that was in ways. I mean, he didn't do all that great, but I mean, I was happy to see him out there again. Was Milos Raonic.
Milos, yes, it was good
Yeah,
to see him
because
back
he
after
was
two
injured
years,
for
right?
2 years, right? And I think he sounds like he wants to retire because he said this may be his last Wimbledon. But he
Hmm.
came out and he won his first round, so it was fascinating to see him come back and even win once. He got knocked out the second second
Second
round, but
round, yeah.
but it was good to see him back, and he was serving well and doing his thing out there. So good to see him back. I'm not sure how long he's gonna be able to hang on in the sport, but he has done a lot of good stuff in his time. So just that injury seems to have gotten the better of him.
Yeah, when you come back from injury, it's always tough, I think.
Very tough.
You
Sometimes it
know,
takes months to years to get back to who you really
yeah,
are.
especially if you don't feel the same
Yeah,
when you're playing. So,
yeah,
yeah, I was happy to see him win his first round match, and I was hoping
yeah.
that he'd go a little deeper, but I know it wasn't going to be easy.
No, never easy. Wimbledon is no joke, as you
Yeah,
know. So when you come, you gotta be you come in with your A game, and yeah, he came the best he had, but he's coming from 2 years of doing very little.
correct. Other Canadians playing Shapovalov, he moved on to, right? To his
Yeah,
next,
yeah, he's
yeah.
the one that I think everybody sort of putting their hats on. This is his tournament to do well. So he's battling out there, which is good. So let's see how
Mhm.
far he goes. Talented young man,
Very talented. Yeah,
not doing very well for the last. I mean, he's just been average, but I think he has an opportunity, and he has stepped up so far. He has
yeah, he
stepped up.
has. He has, and his next round match is against Roman Safulin.
Yeah,
He's not in the top. He's ranked way down, I think,
yeah, yeah. I
82.
think I think Shapovalov is going to beat him. I'm
Yeah.
fairly confident that Shapovalov is on a nice little roll right now, so I think he's going to beat him.
One of the things I've learned though with this tennis recently is I don't even look at the rankings anymore
It
because
means very
it
it means
means
very little these days.
yeah, it's just like the ones who are winning are just hungry to win and
Thank you. And if you
yeah,
look at it, some very talented players have dropped in the rankings, even Andriescu, so she's like what 50th,
yeah.
right? So lots of talent there, but ranked 50th. So it's not a shocker if she beats a top 10 person because that's where she should be. So
So if you're looking at the men's side, is there anyone you want to call it for? Is it Alcaraz or is it going to be Djokovic?
well, Alcaraz has moved to the furthest he has ever been at Wimbledon, so he's very
Yeah,
happy about that. But I don't think he can get to the big grass guys. And Djokovic is, I won't say it's wrapped up because they have to play the games, but I don't think he can be beaten here.
yeah, it's going to be tough. I was actually rooting for TFO, the American, but he has a tough next round, third round match against Dimitrov,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he looks good. He's won all of
Interesting
his sets
talent.
in straight
Yeah,
sets. Yeah,
interesting talent for sure.
and yeah, he played well on grass last year. So, but yeah, I just said I'm going with Djokovic to get to win it all.
Yeah, I have him as a banker. I don't
Yeah,
see I don't see how he could lose, but you never know. But he's going through fine. He's doing his thing, and I think he's pumped because when he wins now, he's just extending his record to make it more difficult for anybody to be better than him in history. So
yeah, for
he's
sure.
motivated for sure, for sure.
I think on the men's side, for me, the biggest upset that was surprise of was Rude losing Casper Rude losing.
Yeah, he lost pretty early here.
Yeah, I think in the second
I
round.
quite surprised at that myself. I thought he'd be going on close to like a semifinals place.
Yeah, but he didn't. On the ladies' side, Swiatek is just cruising through. You think
Yeah,
she can be beaten,
a little word about her. She is the one that I'm picking to go all the way, but I know this is not her favorite surface.
right?
So let's see. When the time gets tough, if the tough is gonna get going, she's tough, so I think she's gonna get going, but it won't be easy. I'm taking her to win, but lots of competition on the women's side. Lots of competition there.
It's a lot of competition for sure on the women's, and yeah, she's gonna have to come through like River Keener and
Yeah,
Jabber is actually playing well again,
Jabor is
but
stepped out. She's my X factor, Jabor.
she meets Andrescu in the
Andrescu,
next
yeah,
round.
I know, I know.
So
I didn't want that matchup, but
no,
that's just what it is for Andrescu. But I think Jabor, in my opinion, is in a better shape to go on from here. But we'll see.
yeah, she should be able to go on for sure. And but Swiatek just looks unbeatable.
Unbeatable, yeah.
And
That, as I said, I think she's gonna dominate in a way that a dominant player should. Is that she's gonna just win and win and win convincingly. So I think that's what she's aiming for. And let's see if this year is the year that she starts that run. But I think she's gonna win this one and maybe even the U.S. Open, which would be, that's three majors in one year. So yeah, let's see. Let's see how she goes.
if she can win that, yeah. So
Yeah.
some exciting matches on today. So those of you who want to watch tennis, it's early morning for us, and maybe where you are, some it could be late at night. But in England, it's just the right time for tennis,
I know,
so
I know.
you
As,
can switch
as long
over
as
when
there's no rain, it should be exciting times.
it should be exciting times for tennis for sure. Um, there's so much to talk about track and field and cricket. So if there's anything else you want to discuss before we get into that, then
I think no, I think that sort of covers it from a tennis and F1 point of view. So unless you want to talk a little bit soccer, so there's not a lot of soccer, but
we can talk some at
yeah,
the end for
yeah,
sure.
we could talk some at the end. But yeah, it's cricket. I think I want
It's
to hear
cricket.
your perspective on cricket because I think cricket. I think some people have many people have many strong opinions about what should happen to West Indies cricket. So um,
Well,
I
we
want to
can
hear.
start
Yeah.
there. And I actually was going to say I'm not talking cricket today. I'll leave it up to you. But we can either start there, or we can start with the Ashes. But I'll start with the Ashes. 2-0.
Something more fascinating to talk about,
Yeah,
eh?
2-0, 2-0 up for Australia. Did England? Do you think England lost the plot? Because the baseball doesn't work against everybody.
You know, any great team knows how to adjust. They haven't adjusted well. They have good players out there, and like Stokes is stepping up in a way to show that you know what I will lead this team, and everybody's
Mhm.
relying on him, and he has done well. But he
Yes.
needs more company, man. he needs help. He needs
Yeah.
help, and I don't
I,
know. It's
I,
tough for them.
I think a guy like Joe Root, I'd expect to be batting better than he
I thought
is.
so too. I
But he
thought so.
seemed to have fallen into this thing, playing scoop shots and all sorts of different things he's trying, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's
You see,
not
they're
as
allowed to try these things, right? That's the thing,
correct.
right? Because that's the approach you're taking. So you can take risks now, and they're
Yeah.
all doing that. And as you said, it's sometimes it's not working the way it's supposed to work.
Two good test matches so far. Could have gone either way in the second one,
True.
and I think
Both games. Yeah.
both games. And the second game there's some controversy, and England wasn't too happy about Johnny Bairstow the way he was out, but he should have known, stay in your crease.
Please,
You know,
is that the
it's
rule?
it's
you know,
the
it's a
rule.
rule. So
The
it's like,
ball wasn't dead. The keeper hadn't even caught the ball yet,
yeah,
and he just
yeah,
walked out. And honestly, if you look back at tapes, he's done it himself. Many keepers have done it. Some
yeah.
have stood up to the wicket, held the ball, make the batsman think that it passed them, and then run them out.
Run them out. Yeah.
Passed up.
Some
So it's
them. Yeah.
some them. So it's really I don't think there's anything wrong.
No, it's a rule. It's part of the game,
Yeah.
and I don't even think how he did it was one of those you'd say it's controversial.
No.
That's a simple thing that
Yeah.
he could do, and he did it.
He caught it and threw it right back. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and actually, the ones who are making a fuss is the other players, but
Mister is not
Vesta
going to say
hasn't said anything. But I
he's
think
he's at fault. I mean, he's probably embarrassed. So,
yeah, exactly. And I think England has made a mistake at putting Bairstow as a keeper. They could play him as a batsman if they want, but he's
yeah,
dropped too many catches, too
catches.
many little
Yeah, yeah.
mistakes.
I was
It's
a
a
little surprised. I mean, at England dropping that amount of catches to say. I thought
yeah,
only West Indies did that.
there's a lot of. I don't think they practice fielding and stuff as much as they used to anymore. It's
Yeah.
just everything now is just fast
Bat,
paced.
bat, 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 bat. Go and hit the ball as far as you can.
Yeah. And so the third test is underway, and Australia lead by 142 runs in the second inning. So in good, well poised match still.
Yeah, 'cause they have
263,
6 wickets to go, right? So
6 wickets to go.
yeah,
263 in the first innings. England replied with 237 and 116 for four. And but no play this morning, and it's tea now, and it's been raining all day, so they have
yeah. I
not.
was wondering if they're gonna get any chance to play today because after the rain, if they come out after the rain, it can be very dangerous for the batsmen. But
Yes,
if the whole day is called off, then it's only the third day. So I mean, you still get a result in this match.
I think you'll get a result. It's going very quickly, so
Very quick. All
you'll
of
get it.
England's games go very quickly now. It's basketball, right?
It's basketball, very
Goes
quick.
quickly,
Yeah,
in and out, and you're done.
yeah. It's like either 100 meter or 200 meter dash.
Yeah, it's like an indoor 60 here. It's
Yeah,
just drag racing.
exactly. So
It's over.
quickly.
Hmm.
So yeah, if any play come before we get off the air, we'll update you. But we go on to what we probably didn't want to talk about, but the World Cup
I
qualifiers.
actually want to talk about it because I really want to hear your opinion as to
To,
what
to
happened and what should happen next.
The World Cup qualifiers. So the two teams that have qualified for the World Cup are Sri Lanka and New Zealand. It came down to the last day.
I mean, Netherlands?
Netherlands, sorry, not New
Yeah,
Zealand. I put yeah, Netherlands.
yeah,
Maybe I'm too tired today to
yeah.
bring
I
this
know.
show. Yeah, Netherlands and Sri Lanka. And Scotland thought after the beat West Indies, hey, we are in. But the final match, Netherlands needed to score the runs 269 in less than 45 overs, and they did it in 43.5. So
Yeah, yeah. What happened to
and
Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe just faltered. They just
Because they're at home, so I can imagine
yeah,
how it's not that the others have somewhere to go to say they're going home. But
no,
where is the Zimbabwe guys gonna go?
they went in with 4 points, and you thought, well, Zimbabwe and
Sri Lanka,
Sri Lanka would have gone through, but they just faltered at home,
big
and they
time,
lost. They
big
only won
time,
one match, and that's it.
big time. I was
Um,
quite surprised at that because they look convinced. Well, anybody looks convincing beating the West Indies, but I think at home they would have been able to pull it off.
I thought so too. I thought there was the home team, so
Yeah,
they had the 13th man, the 12th man, and
yeah.
because the fans were just there
They were
singing
there.
and
They were
yeah,
dancing, and
numbers
they were all
dancing.
there. It's like
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. What are they going to tell these people? It's like,
wow.
whoa, what
It's
happened here?
Roger, if you get a chance to go to Zimbabwe and watch cricket, just should because I experienced it
It's
and
wonderful.
it's wonderful. They just play music and dance all day. They've got
Wow.
energy.
Wow, wow. It sounds
Yeah,
like going to Boys and Girls Champs in Jamaica. It's just action and noise and excitement for the entire
excitement.
time.
Yeah,
Everybody's standing. So, yeah, I watched it and I'm like, whoa, this crowd is just buzzed. I mean,
yeah, they are. So we go on to talk about now the ones
what
who
do you think
didn't
before we go
qualify.
though, but the Netherlands though? I mean,
Hmm.
I saw what they did to the West Indies in coming, what, the 370 or something?
374 they chased, yeah.
Yeah, and got it. So, I mean, I thought, maybe West Indies was really bad, but it also said maybe they're not as bad as people think
But
they
they're not
are.
as bad. If you remember, West Indies had a series against Netherlands, and some of the matches were close.
Close, yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
in the
Are they now
Netherlands.
competitive in your opinion, though? I mean, I
They
think they're
are
just going to get,
competitive
yeah,
because they actually played in the one-day series championship. They were the 13th team in that one-day championship, along with the top nations. So they
okay.
got a chance to play against a lot of the top
Top
countries.
teams, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so and a lot of their players play in the England Cricket League.
Yeah, I noticed that. I
Yeah.
noticed that. It's a solid team. I was a little surprised at how well they have done, but I
I
mean,
didn't expect them to chase the 374, and I think West Indies actually got a bit lackadaisical. I mean,
a
you
little, a little.
a lot. They just, I believe me, I just think West Indies went into this whole tournament, as we can discuss now about West Indies.
Yeah,
I
for
think they
sure.
went into this whole tournament underestimating the teams, and the preparation from the West Indies was poor. They,
Yeah.
I mean, do you prepare for a tournament like this by playing against UAE?
I thought about that. I thought
Yeah,
about that. Wow. But
when
I mean, some people are saying is, the new leader who got
Sammy,
appointed somehow with no qualifications, that he's just a cheerleader, so he couldn't even help them. So I
well,
don't know what your thoughts are on that, but that's
a
what
lot.
somebody said. He's just going, yeah, 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 in the background, but he's not doing anything else.
That's what a lot of my friends say, and a lot of people that I'm in the chat groups with, they say that West Indies hired a cheerleader, not a coach.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's just that I don't think Sammy is the right person for the job.
Well,
Honestly, he's gonna win a few, and people are gonna say, "See, he won," but he's not the right person to take us over. If you look at the team was not a bad team, but I thought it was a little soft in the bowling department.
it is.
And
It is.
I was discussing this with a friend, and I said, he's an avid cricket analyst for himself. He lives in England, and he said West Indies team. He was asking me about the West Indies team, and I said to him, West Indies have to realize that playing against associate countries is different playing against test nations.
It is.
And they went in with medium pace bowlers who they will associates will eat for supper all day, right?
That's what
And
they
if
grew
you
up
have a
on.
good spinners, they will not play well. And
Yeah.
West Indies didn't have the quality spinners to trouble them. And the
Yeah.
bowling department, I mean, when you look at it, Alzari Joseph is the only fast bowler.
This is the only
And
real bowler out there.
yeah,
Well, let's not throw Holder under the bus, but
well, Holders, too many times he's gone over 13 and over. So,
yes, yes,
and
yes.
I was surprised that after Alzari Joseph bowled the last over, for only 8 runs and 2 wickets that they gave Holder the final.
That is it a Barbados thing?
Well, that's what people are saying, but Sammy solutions. But it was a big surprise to me that Holder would have been given that ball.
It
You
was
know,
a shock.
yeah, and
It was. It made no sense at all, and it ended up proving that it made no sense,
it
in my
costed
opinion.
West Indies big time. And there's a lot of rebuilding now, a lot of hurt fans, a lot
I'm
of
not sure. I won't. Yeah, before we get into rebuilding, because I've been
mm,
hearing that for 20 years. So, what happened to Ravman Powell?
I think Ravman Powell is not sure what his role is and what he's supposed to do because
Was he actually out there though?
yeah, he did. He played the first few games.
He didn't play the last two though.
He was dropped because he failed. He had a couple of ducks.
I saw that. I don't
Yeah,
know. I think
and he was there, and
I
I
don't
think he
know.
came from the T20 from straight from the IPL, was it?
Yeah, maybe he was tired. I don't know, but
And maybe he was tired, and
I would for him than some of the guys I saw them putting out there.
no, I think he could. If he understands his role, I think he can do a good job because when he plays for Jamaica, he knows his role and he bats right
Exactly.
through and he scores
Exactly.
hundreds quite
Exactly.
often.
There you go. There
But
you go. And
in West
he's
Indies,
a
he's not.
captain. He's a vice captain. I mean, how would you? I don't know. It made no sense to me. I mean, if he failed one or two times against these guys, I would keep him out there.
And to me, West Indies was picking a team sort of like with batting
Yeah,
backup in
they want
case
to bat
instead
all
of
down to number
yeah.
10.
Because when you play Romario, Shepherd, and then you need to play genuine bowlers. If you have a,
Yeah,
you should your first seven bats, six batsmen plus the keeper or the seven batsmen, they need to accountable and
yeah,
score the runs. And I
exactly.
think Shea Hope is the best opening batsman in ODI for West Indies, one of the best in the world in ODI
I mean, that's at
opening
number
batsman.
4.
And it comes to number 4 to make room for Johnson Charles.
Thank you. Thank you.
No,
Thank
so
you. And I'm like, what type of madness is this? I mean, he went off and said, "Yo, King is great." So, can you imagine if him and King were opening? Maybe we'd have
exactly.
seen something different.
Yeah, and I think King should be in West Indies
Yes,
set up at all
I
levels.
think he should be in the test team as well. And he actually
Yeah,
says he enjoys it. But yeah, I just didn't understand the setup of the team. As you said, they're trying to get batting all the way down to 10. Some of the guys coming in, I don't know what they did to get on this team. Um, I don't even know what to say. Shamar Brooks played a couple games, and I'm like, okay, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they made these decisions,
I
Ingle.
don't know how the decisions were made, and we can talk about this all day, but we will be here
But
forever.
you say they're going to be rebuilding because what are they rebuilding here? Because I mean, it's been a
Well,
rebuilding for
I
like
say
30 years now.
rebuilding, but we've been rebuilding since 1990.
95,
Yeah,
1995 is the time they use as a
when
cutoff time.
did Jamaica when he lost that Test match in Jamaica, and
Yeah,
things turned around. Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen, but a lot of work need to do. The interest have to be there to get the young kids back interested in cricket because they're not playing schools cricket and stuff as much anymore in the Caribbean.
Correct, correct,
So those
correct.
things have to be put in place.
What
But
are your thoughts on the big, big conversation that Chris Derring came up with
mhm.
that they should split up the team and everybody go on their own?
Yeah, I heard him say that, and I've heard that discussion many places. But if we go on our own, we won't have any West Indian team playing in the top tier because no country will be good enough on their own to play there.
But at this point in time, the West Indies is not good enough to be in the top tier either. So nothing is changing if you really look at it
I
that
think
way,
they honestly believe they're good enough, but they have the wrong people in the wrong places.
which is true. It's
I
just
think they're
yeah.
good enough, and
But
I'm
at this
just
point in time, the frustration you can understand where it's coming from, though, because you've put the best that you have as a well, a region, and they have all the talent. They go all over the world and they do well. But when they come together and they're supposed to represent the region very well, they don't. They have not done so in a very long time, whether because of money reasons, whether because of ego, whatever it is. They just haven't done anything. Right now, they can't beat, as you call Hooper words, right? They can't beat the Netherlands and those guys. So we are just as bad as them, and we gotta accept that's how
yeah.
we are.
Yeah, we have to accept it. But yeah, we'll have that topic coming up because you know what, it's 10:29 and we we, we
No, no,
have to
no,
speak we have to speak track and field and everything else.
no, no, no. But there's
Mm.
still more to go. Still more to go. What about Dave Cameron?
Dave Cameron knew that we were going to lose from day one because he said that from day one. He said that things are not going well and they didn't understand. But I think Dave Cameron, people knocked Dave Cameron, but he knew what he was doing. He didn't like his method, but he knew what he was doing.
And now is the time that I think this guy Oral Tracy in the Jamaican has this news thing that he comes on and talks his little
Hmm.
sports commentary. And he said he called out Prime Minister, what's his name again, from Grenada, I think it was. Or,
Keith Mitchell
that's this guy said
and
problem in
yeah,
West Indies cricket is Dave Cameron,
yeah, Keith
and they
Mitchell and
got
Dan, and what's the other one? Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, and they
Yeah,
said we gotta get rid of him.
yeah.
He is the problem. So now maybe we should have a conversation with the prime ministers across the region as to what is the problem.
Well, they had the meeting at CARICOM and they appointed Keith Rowley as the new head of cricket, chairman of the cricket. Then so now they're going to have a discussions in the CARICOM as to how to help West Indies cricket.
Cricket.
I don't. They can't even help
I know,
themselves.
I know, I
I hope I don't get sued.
know. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. But
Yeah,
honestly, and it's
but
hard to say this one because I've watched cricket. After watching what they did, it knocked the air out of me, man. I find it
that's
even difficult,
true.
even if I know them. I can't find the energy to go watch them anymore.
To be honest with you, Roger, I watched up until they lost to Zimbabwe and I stopped watching.
That was the game. That
Yeah,
was the
because
game.
I think that game they were cruising. They should have won
They should have
easily.
easily won that game.
And then
Easily
after
won
that
that
game,
game.
I didn't watch any more of the
Same
qualifier.
here.
Yeah,
Same here. I was a little surprised. Well, I'm more than a little surprised when they lost to the Netherlands. But that Zimbabwe game was the turning point for me. It's like this team is a joke.
yeah. I was when I got up and I checked the score with 374. I said, okay, West Indies have an easy win, 2 points going into the next. I mean, two more points. They still have an outside chance.
Yeah.
But then, wow, I later on I checked. A friend of mine texted me and said, "Texans text super over." I'm like, "What's super
Super
over?"
over. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
It's
So
absolutely crazy. But West Indies, they usually play against the not so good countries or the up and coming countries and find a way to beat them. They can't even do that now because see what happened when they meet Sri Lanka. It was just like a joke. Whenever they meet any established countries, that is what happens to them.
yeah, but I think with the upcoming series against India, I think they'll play well in the test team.
So
And
that's the only thing I will say is that the only team that seems to be trying to stand up for themselves as cricketers is the test team.
yeah,
It's the
so
test team.
I
They
think
seem to have
they'll
different
be.
energy. They seem to have a different energy than the other teams.
Yeah, and some people are saying why not take Craig as captain and let him play in all formats. But I
I
don't
don't
think
know
that's
about
gonna
that. No,
happen.
maybe the one days, but not the T20s for
Not
sure.
the T20s for sure. Yeah, so that series comes up starting on the 12th. India is in Barbados training. They had a internal squad match started yesterday,
Hmm.
and didn't see much of the scores, but I saw a headline with Kohli fails. So anything Kohli does is headlines.
I know, I know. In
So
the spotlight, whatever he does.
yeah, and West Indies has named their team for that series. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the team.
I did. So any surprises for you? I mean, I'm happy to see Athenaeus and Kirk
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie in there, but
Yeah,
any surprises for you?
yeah. I was surprised to see Gabriel.
Oh, Shannon. Oh,
Shannon
okay.
Gabriel. Yeah, I was surprised to see him back
Bringing
in
him
the
back from the
squad.
dead.
Yeah, because I get he's fit, yes, but he always seemed to show that he's fit, and then during the match he breaks down.
He breaks
So
down after the first
yeah,
spell.
yeah,
So,
exactly. And with Jaden Seals in the camp, I thought he was going to be in the team, but the chairman of selectors, Desmond Haynes, says that he's good in progress, but they don't think he's quite ready to play Test cricket yet.
wow.
But I don't know. But the team, I like the fact that Athanaze is there. I like that Mackenzie is there.
Yeah.
I'm not too keen on Gabriel and Blackwood continuing as vice captain.
Yeah, he shouldn't be vice. I mean, he should be on his way out unless he does something
And
special. But
I'm not sure what they're seeing in Raymond Reefer. But
yeah, he's another one.
something. So the full
Something is
squad is
there.
Craig Brathwaite, Jermaine Blackwood, Alec Athanaze, Tajane Sanderpaul. Cornwall is back in Raheem
I saw
Colwell,
that. Yeah, which is
Joshua
good
De
to see.
Silva, Shannon Gabriel, Jason Holder, Alzari Joseph, Kirk McKenzie, Raymond Reefer, Kemar Roach, Jamel Warrican, surprised there too.
Yeah,
Tevin Imlach and Akeem Jordan are the
uh,
reserves. Good. I'm happy to see Tevin Imlach. I have a lot of time for that young man.
good.
He's a Guyanese wicketkeeper batsman.
Hmm,
And
hmm.
Akeem Jordan, the fast bowler, he went on a tour, I think, with West Indies the last
The A
time.
team. The A team
Yeah,
was. Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
yeah, he did. And but I hope that Mackenzie gets the nod over Raymond Reefer because I wouldn't want to see that.
Yeah, that'd be nice if he could.
Yeah, but just quickly wrap up the cricket. Australia women, they won the first test. The T20 is tied. The third one goes today. And the Ashes is played a little different. The women's Ashes, they accumulate points
Okay.
for each win. So they play a series of one test, the three T20s, and then three ODIs. So
Okay.
England needs a win. The test gives most of the points, but England needs a win today to be competitive and have a chance of winning.
Okay. Okay.
Afghanistan, they're playing Bangladesh, and after they lost their test match, the only test match, they are putting a beating on Bangladesh. And
Hmm.
they are actually won the first ODI and the second one, not much difference. They scored 331 and the Bangladesh 113 for six.
Oh.
And the Bangladesh captain Tamin Iqbal is not playing. He retired 2 days ago, but he reversed the decision this morning
I
after meeting with the PM of
know
Bangladesh.
the prime minister says, "Do it for your country."
Yeah,
He
so
says, "Okay, sir."
he made that reverse. And in West Indies women, they well, no surprise, they've won both the T20 and ODI against the Irish women,
I
and
mean, it's good to see. I mean, they should win and they won, which is how it should be. The
they
men need
should.
to take that lesson and do the same thing too. But yeah, but
Um,
some of the games were close. I think
some
one
were
of them,
close,
it's like,
yes,
why is it so close? But
yeah.
they won.
I was happy to see that they won, and I'm happy to see Stephanie Taylor get him among the runs
Definitely
again.
Taylor among the runs, Haley Matthews amongst the
Taylor
runs,
yeah,
which is nice to see as well.
and just coming off the wire, Roger, a big surprise. CWI appoints Shane Detz as the new head coach of the West Indies women. I thought Rod Robert was going to get it after the
He
interim.
was interim for like a day.
Yeah, so
What is this?
now a South African. So I guess the West Indies first concept that put in by Skerritt is thrown out the door by his former Vice President Shallow. So this is
Yeah.
the second South African I think that's been
Oh,
appointed. In
interesting.
fact, the Windward Islands coach is South African. So
Wow.
something that Shallow is seen in the Windward Islands in South Africans that he wants them in positions.
Apparently, that's the one that he likes, and he's gonna promote them.
Yep.
Apparently.
So
So if
that's
these guys lose, it's gonna come down even harder. So for their sake, hopefully they win because you get
hopefully
somebody
the
from so far to come in and lose, then why not take somebody that is closer?
exactly. The West Indies first has gone out the door. And the Rising Stars on the 19 and Men's Championship started on Tuesday. You can follow the scores on windiescricket.org
Yeah.
or cricketwestindies.org, sorry, or
Yeah.
wicked or windiescricket.com.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and the GT20 Canada is supposed to start on July 20th.
Is it
Not,
the same time as the new league in the US?
yeah, that starts in 6 days. So it's
Uh-huh.
an overlap, and it's the same time also as the Lankan Premier League. So a bunch
Oh,
of clashes. So
there's a
you're not
clash.
getting the best players in the world as you
Yeah,
would
it's
like
gonna
to.
make it challenging for sure.
So I think that's it for cricket, Roger. We got it's
We're
10:38.
over cricket. We're over cricket.
It's 10:38.
And England lose his mind and swear on radio.
No, I didn't. um,
For the West
actually,
Indies.
the funny thing is, I get disheartened by West Indies, but then I realize that the losses and stuff don't hurt as much anymore. So something,
Get used to it.
Yeah, just get used to it.
It's a way of living these days with these guys. So,
Yeah,
they don't
but
seem to care. So why should I be? Well, that's another conversation, but
exactly.
it's tough. It's tough.
But yeah, the track and field, two big names not gonna be in the worlds.
Yeah, you know what? The trials are going on all over. I mean, they have two trials windows that World Athletics has given to all their member states, and it's this weekend and the 23rd, I think, to the 26th of July. So there's two. You can choose one. Most people chose this one. Canada chose the second one for some reason.
Mm,
But this weekend is just smoking hot because Jamaica's going and the US is going, and the British are going today as well. So it's a fascinating time for track and field. But let's start in Jamaica, and I know our good friend Jason Portwando is a huge fan of Mr. Johan Blake, and I
yes,
was watching with keen eyes when he came out to run his first race, and he decided to go before the gun went, and he argued for like about 5 minutes, but they didn't agree. Apparently, he ran a race all by
by
himself later in
himself.
the
Yeah,
night and didn't run the qualifying time, so he still didn't get in. And I wonder if he just did that because he felt embarrassed. But at the end of the day, I mean, Johan Blake doesn't run 10:3. I mean, even on his bad days.
on his bad
So
days. Yeah.
something must have been wrong with that. But let's get to the races. I mean, Johan Blake, the second fastest man in history, will not be representing Jamaica in the 100 meters at
Hmm.
the World Championships in Budapest because he false started in his quarterfinal race and he's out. But we saw on the track, Ingleton, Liburd, some things that it's even now it's still a buzz in Jamaica. It's either you're shocked you can't say anything or you're just buzzed up because of this. But MVP, that camp
Hmm.
that had all the big sprinters before, it sort of broke up a bit, but now they seem to be coming back. They shocked the world as Kishane Thompson,
Yeah.
who I know because I mean, yeah, I've seen him. And one of my mentors is a huge fan of this kid. 9.91 in the heats, and it's like, what is going on out of lane eight? He never showed up for his semifinals or finals, so I don't know what happened there. But 9.91 in the heats, and so
Mm,
everybody's like, okay, what times are we looking at this year for the men? Everybody says the men are done, but if somebody that is unknown is going to come around 9.91, then what about the big horses? What are they going to do?
right.
And in the finals, it turned out that another MVP guy that no one knows. When I say no one, I mean
No,
no one. I think he was running 11 zeros or something like 3 years ago.
correct.
He
That's what I read.
he won the 100 meters in 9.91. The name we're gonna have to remember now, Rohan Watson.
Yeah, I just saw some people typing like Rohan who?
You know,
Yeah.
but you know what? Second to him was Raheem Ford,
Yeah.
who I know as well. He used to run for JC as Raheem Robertson, but I didn't expect him to get here, but he had quality, so it's not a shock. People know who this kid is. 9.96 for second. So these are two people that no one expected at all to even be in the finals, much less be first and second. Third was Oblique Seville, who is
Oh,
supposed to be the number one ranked Jamaican, although Hakeem Blake had the fastest time this year. So he was third, and they both went on the line together, Hakeem Blake and Seville. Seville edged him out, running 10.00, Hakeem Blake 10.01, which means that Hakeem Blake is not representing
not,
Jamaica. You know, he's the number one ranked Jamaican this year, and he's not representing Jamaica at
not,
the World
yeah.
Championship. But they also had another guy, Kadrian Golson. I think he was last in the finals or second to last or something. But he ran 9.96 in the heats. So suddenly in the heats, we had all these people who has never run nine in their lives busting
Running.
9.9s. So a lot of 9.9s going on in Jamaica, but a shocker. They said the last time something like this happened was 2008 when Shelley and Fraser Price dropped out of nowhere to beat Veronica Campbell Brown. But then look what
Mm,
happened. She went on to the Olympics and she won. So
yeah.
what can we say? That's what they're saying about Warren Watson. They said there's rumors are there's more to come from this kid.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
the coach was saying. Just look for more, look for faster times.
and I'm like, okay, well, for his sake, I hope so. But I mean, I'm lost. That's where this guy is coming from. And I know track and field. I spent a lot of time with track and field, and
Hmm.
when he ran the 10.1 to like a month and a half ago, it's like, who is this kid? And that's when I started looked him up, and they gave his story. But to see him go from where he's coming from to even the 10.1 to 6 weeks ago to now be running 9.91, it's a mystery, but it's really really fast, really
It
really
is
fast.
fast.
Well, the big race, as they said, the biggest race of the day was supposed to be that 100-meter women's final, and everyone
Hmm.
was lining up for it. So lots of talk there. Shelley chose not to run in it, so everybody else was there. And Sharika Jackson, she's done talking. She's just running now, and she exploded, Ingle, exploded.
She did.
10.65, a big personal best and a world leading time, and very, very impressive execution. From start to finish, she was just unsung. She was just moving like a machine. It's like, whoa, big race from Sharika Jackson. Did you get a chance to see her?
I didn't see the race, no. I just saw the
Well,
celebrations.
man, she moved really, really well. So they just bang up behind her as to what is going to happen with, first of all, Elaine Thompson Hera,
Elaine,
double
yeah.
Olympic champion, and Alana Reid. I mean, she just broke the world, the Jamaican record for juniors running 10.92 at Boys and Girls Championships. But in second place was Shasha Lee Forbes,
No.
10.96. Third was Natasha Morrison, a friend of mine, so I'm very, very happy for her. She ran 10.98, so she's back. So those are the top three to join Shelley and Fraser Price at World Championships. Sharika
Yeah.
Jackson, Sasha Lee Forbes, and Natasha Morrison. Brianna Williams was fourth again, this time
Yes.
running 11.01. But she did say she had a hamstring injury 2 weeks ago. She wasn't even sure if she was going to run here. So she was happy with how she did, but she's fourth. Then Elaine Thompson was fifth.
Yeah.
Alana Reid was the seventh. So, the two that a lot of people expected to see something from are fifth and seventh.
Yeah, it's there's no Elaine at the Worlds. Wow.
Well, let's see if she goes in. She's done for the
She's
200
the
as well.
200, right? She's doing the 200.
But from what I
Is
saw
she
here,
the, no, she's not the defending champion.
no, it's
Mm,
Sharika.
Sharika, yeah.
Yeah, so but I still think that some of the kids are going to beat her based on what I saw. But let's see. She struggled. I think someone said,
Is
and I know,
Shellyanne gonna run the two?
yeah, but I'm not sure if she's going to run the finals because she said she's not doing 200 in championships anymore.
Right.
That's just for training. But I think the big thing that someone pointed out to me that is Elaine hasn't run for so long to run all these races back to back. I think it caught up with her. She
Mm,
looked okay in the heats and the semis, but the finals she was flat. She was
wow.
just at the flat. So Sharika Jackson, the fifth fastest woman in history now over the 100 meters. So she's up there, 10.65. She's been begging for 10.6 from last year. She has it now. Let's see if she can take it all the way to winner championships in Budapest in August.
When I saw that time, I started getting nervous for Shellyanne.
That's
I
a
was
big question
thinking,
because she hasn't run yet.
yeah, I
So
was thinking that Sharika probably will double.
Sharika may do the double. It's going to be
Yeah.
interesting to see. I mean, she's like 8 years younger.
Yeah.
We see how that goes. Interesting times ahead. So the stadium, of course, was just in shock when all of that was happening. But they also had a lot to smile about because a young kid by the name of Rashawn Clark, he is come with the Carifta Games Sealy Award winner, so the champion boy for Carifta Games. So he's under 20. He set a world record for the under 20s in the 40-meter hurdles, and he ran in the seniors race as he won that in 47.85. So before this, his personal best was 48.9, and now
Mm,
he went to
47.
47.85. So kudos to him and his coach, Akil Stewart. Awesome, awesome performance. He defeated Jahil Hyde, who came in as a favorite. Jahil ran 48.45. And then another young man, not so young, but he got introduced to the event this year, Inga, Assini Wilson. A newcomer to the event this year's his first year, and he ran 48.50. And I can honestly say I think I could probably jump the hurdles the same way he's jumping it. So he's not get he hasn't fully got
He's
it
not.
yet, but he's right there. He's definitely right there. So that is a fascinating race to watch. And the women's side, the 400 hurdles was also very hot because it was three across the line. It was a bang up finish. In racehorse terms, it's one of those you need a four to finish to decide who
For the
won this
finish,
race.
yeah.
And it was Genevieve Russell, MVP again, winning in 53.75 over Antoinette Knight, 53.78, and Russia Clayton 53.81. So, 600ths of a second separated the three of them. It was really, really close. But all three are going through, and all three are. These are great times. So they're all in the top 10 in the world right now. So they have a shot to make the finals, which is also good to see. But I think the message that I think a lot of people are seeing here is that at these trials, the MVP track club has showed up and they're ready to, as they say, pack up the plane because the 100-meter
Yeah,
winner on the men's side is MVP. On the women's side, the first and third was MVP.
MVP.
Yeah, on the women's side, 400 hurdles is Russell. So it's a lot of MVP people and there's more to come. So interesting to see how that is going to go for sure. But Ingle, while Sharika was doing all of that, there was a young lady over in Oregon
Hmm.
who's also on fire, Shakari Richardson. So she
Yeah,
started off running 10.71 personal best in the heats.
in the heats. Yeah.
World leading time at the time, and she's been the fastest American since 2011, and she's number 6 in the world and all of that stuff. So she's right there. And I watched her semifinals and her finals, and I can honestly say she chose not to go faster,
Mm.
in my opinion. If you
And
watch her
this
last 20, she wasn't pushing it at all.
and the start in the final wasn't that great.
It wasn't that great.
No,
And she was going to blow them out. She still won by far.
she won. Yeah.
Yeah, because she won in 1082 with 1090 coming second and 1099 third. So Brittany Brown, unknown to many, but she did run the 200 meters world championships a couple years ago when she got to the finals and medaled. So she's not bad. But then Tamari Davis, she's only 20, a newcomer as well. Been around because she went pro at the age of 16. She's finally found her legs now, and she was third in 10.99. But of course, Alia Hobbs, who I thought would have been right there, didn't even make the final.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was expecting a Leah Hobbs to be challenging. I was
I
thought,
know, didn't
did
even make the final, man. I was like, whoa,
um,
what's going
did
on
she
here?
did she peak too early this year or
I have
something?
to wonder. I have to wonder. She won indoors and she was looking great early
Yeah,
outdoors, but she's going backwards right now. But
yeah,
I think for me, the action of the finals was actually when they said, get to your marks. Because you
yeah.
saw what Shakari did.
Yes.
She took off her wig and threw it to the ground and said, oh,
Yeah.
I'm ready. Like, oh my God.
She's a show
She,
woman.
she is a showboat, I tell you.
She's show,
It, it
yeah,
was it was interesting to see her do that. Fascinating.
yeah.
On the men's side, upsets all over again because someone by the name of Cravon Charleston.
I was wondering who is that?
I know the name. I mean, he did well in college and all of that. This
Okay.
guy doesn't even have a shoe contract, so he's really not even getting any funding or anything. And he shot the crowd as he took the men's 100 meters in 9.95 over Christian Coleman, who started off like gangbusters out of the blocks and
Yes.
just couldn't finish the same way. So he edged him out 995 to 996. And of course, the fast finishing Noah Lyles, finishing like a choo choo train. He was there in third in 10.00. So all three will be going to the World Championships and they'll be joining none other than Fred Curley, the defending champion. So four solid Americans will be there. Not sure about Charleston, but the other two for sure, Coleman and Noah Lyles, are big names going with Fred Curley. So
Hmm.
look for the Americans and the Jamaicans, and now let's see what the British do and all of that in the World Championships for the sprints. But if you're watching American track and field, English, you must be watching to see what this young lady is going to do, Sydney McLaughlin.
Oh yeah, I
So
did.
she ran her 400-meter semifinal looking extremely dominant and confident, 49.61, looking like she's going to steal a march and take this trophy. But look out for Brittany Wilson.
Brittany
She
Wilson ran well, yeah.
She's looking very easy. She chose her on the 400. She tried to double up on the 400 and 400 hurdles, and she is now chosen to do the 400 here. She ran 49.1 at the NCAA, so she has the
Hmm.
talent to challenge Sydney McLaughlin. So it's going to be an interesting final when they back up tonight. So we'll be looking out for that race. But good to see Sydney. You need a star to be a star, and Sydney was a star when she was out there. Other things going on, Ingle. Over there in Stockholm last weekend, it was a kind of Simbini taking the 100 meters in 10.03. He's from South Africa over Reese Prescott from the United Kingdom in 10.14. But our Canadian, Aaron Brown, was fifth in 10.27. And I'm wondering how sharp he is. Well, he didn't look so sharp in this race. In the 40-meter hurdles, we saw Carsten Warholm, the world record holder. He's getting back to form, no injuries this year. 47.57 over Karen McMaster, the Commonwealth champion from British Virgin Islands, 48.94. And of course, in the pole vault, Armand Duplantis 6.05. He never loses, world record holder. He wins whenever he wants. But the race that I think was interesting to me was the 200 meter for women, where Daryl Nita, who has always played catch up to Dina Asher Smith, finally found a way to beat her
Founder.
in that 200-meter race, winning 22.50 to 22.58. Asher Smith led for a big bunch of it, maybe to 150, but Nita finished and won that race. And I looked for it, and I'm not sure. Maybe I'm looking into something that's not there, but I didn't see Dina Asher Smith go over and congratulate her. So who knows? Maybe there's a rivalry brewing
Maybe.
over there. Who knows? You just never know. Also going on right now, England's the CSE Games, and surprisingly, a lot of stars showed up for this CSE Games over there in El Salvador. We saw Julian Alfred, NCAA champion and superstar. She won the
Yeah.
100 meters. We saw Jasmine Camacho Quinn, the 100 meters hurdles world
Hurdles.
record, Olympic champion now. She won the 100 meters hurdles. We saw Jerry Richards from Trinidad. He ran 44.54 personal best to win the 400 over a young St. Lucian, Michael Joseph, 44.90. We also saw Yulia Rojas, triple jumper, world record holder. She was there too. She won in 15.16 meters, of course, a meet record. Paulino from the Dominican Republic, who beat Sidney McLaughlin recently, she ran 49.95 to win. So a lot of big names were there. So it's just good to see the CSE games with people showing up for it. The Jamaican team, very weak there. Yannick Dale won the own medal, on the gold medal, 22.80 in the 200 meters. But in general, Jamaicans didn't really go there. It was the other countries sending their top stars
Right.
to the games. But again, Jamaica had trials at the same time. Not sure if that's probably why the top guys
Probably right at the top. Yeah.
would not have gone. In some quick news and notes,
Mhm.
Shelly Fraser Price, she now signs a big deal with the luxury watch brand maker, Richard Mille.
Wow.
So
Good.
she's going to make a lot of money because she's now an ambassador for this luxury watch company, and it's big. A lot of money is going to go there. And the other quick one is what's going on with the TV. So the U.S. trials every year comes on NBC. Every year. For the first time
Hmm.
in 17 years, it is not showing live on NBC, and the athletes are just not happy because that's where people are going to see the sport. So how could you have a sport and the main
And
station that shows it is not showing it? I think
not
they chose
showing
to
it
show
live.
golf.
Yeah.
They chose to show golf over it. So that's a
Well,
huge statement, Ingle.
well, it's the U.S. Open golf, so maybe that's why they're showing it.
There's the U.S. track and field championships. It's the U.S. Open golf.
Yeah.
They chose the golf. So I don't know what it
And
means, but it's a
and
message.
I think sometime last week there was an issue where they cut the golf early, and there was a big thing about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
maybe and it's the women's now playing the first time at Pebble Beach, so
yeah, yeah.
they
They
have.
choose, and they said the last time they checked it, the women's game had more viewers than the track and field. So
Yeah, and the two big names were in there, Anna Sorensen and Michelle Wee, playing their
yeah,
last games,
yeah,
last US
yeah.
Open. So
Crowd is
yeah,
gonna watch. You got to
for
do what's best
sure.
for your business.
We've come to the end, Roger. Time has flown. It's
Time was slow.
10:57. We
But
gotta
we had to
get
talk about the
prepared.
cricket and we had to
We
talk
had
about the
about the
track. So
track. There's so much more to talk about track because the
so much.
US 400 heats was good last night. So I'm
They
looking forward
were
to to the finals
finals.
tonight,
Yeah, yeah. A lot of good
and
stuff
um
going on there, man.
and the showboating in the triple jump by those guys.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
They're trying
so
to make the sport fun,
yeah, it is.
which is
So
good. Which is good.
anyway, we've got to run. We're gonna say enjoy the rest of your weekend. Whatever you do, be safe and be good.
And thank you for joining us and have a wonderful weekend.